oh, you can't just blame Latino voters. Like, yes, the fuck I can. And I say that with my immigrant ass passport, okay? Yes, you can blame the campaign. Yes, you can blame the party. But at the end of the day, there's this little thing called personal accountability. In 2016, I was a little bit more lenient because, okay, people just don't know. They don't understand the consequences. But we lived through that presidency. What I'm hearing now, even from immigrants, undocumented immigrants, because yes, if you have TPS, if you had DACA, you're still undocumented under federal law. Oh, it wasn't that bad under Trump. Oh, Trump's not gonna do anything. Oh, he didn't do anything last time. Oh, yes, he didn't. He tried. The only thing that stopped him was a full resistance movement that filed lawsuits for every single one of his executive orders. What really gets me is that a lot of people who have undocumented family or themselves are undocumented will ultimately need the help of other people who told y'all, don't let this man back in office. Relying on people like myself who have been doing immigration advocacy for years, it generally makes me not want to do this shit anymore. Like next year, a lot of us are going to be helping people that couldn't even help themselves by voting for their best interest. You know where gas really going to be cheap? In fucking Mexico. Yeah, it is.
So, Governor, forgive me. I've got to sit down because I am not feeling well.
Okay, so I know y'all remember her. That's Ileana Garcia, who I just recently found out is the leader and creator of Latinas for Trump. And she recently released a statement saying that the White House immigration crackdown was inhumane. Now, she said, this is not what we voted for, State Senator Ileana Garcia said in a statement on Saturday. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane.
Well, they did sign up for it, actually, and this is what I campaigned on.
You politicians that are saying this, I don't know if you are saying this because you're hoping to get points back with your community, with your constituents who know that you sold them up the river, but it's not going to work. One, this is what you voted for. Do you not remember when this man held a rally and there was one person there that he didn't like at the rally? So he instructed the group of people to beat that person up and drag them out of the rally?
Get her out of here. But there's a slob. There's a real slob.
If he does that with somebody at a rally, what do you think he would do with the people that he has labeled horrible things that he says don't belong in this country? Y'all did know this was going to happen. This is what you voted for. This is what you wanted. Because if you didn't want this, there was another clear option of somebody who was not going to do any of this. And the fact that you're the leader of a group called Latinas for Trump, that is Latin women for Trump, says it all. I cannot believe that you decided to put out this statement. Girl, bye.
You can still be deported from the U.S. despite being a legal permanent resident. It happened to me, and I'm going to tell you how it could happen to you or your family members. When you receive your permanent legal residence, I think it's misleading for it to be labeled permanent because it's not permanent. It's very conditional, and you have to renew it every so often. In my case, I had committed crimes of moral turpitude while I had my green card, and because of that, I became deportable under immigration law. Certain crimes that you commit make it so that the government can petition to take away your green card. In my case, I had committed felony fraud. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be felony fraud. There are many crimes that could be considered possibly like a misdemeanor in criminal court, but under immigration law, if they fit certain standards, they can make you deportable. So it is a common misconception that if you have papers, you're safe. Not always. And everything that's going on, I was reported during the first administration. I was considered a documented immigrant. Documented immigrants with any type of criminal record will also be placed on the chopping block.
To go through something like this behind bars. He has lived in Florida for more than half his life and worked for the same construction job for many decades. Every day that goes without him here is a day lost forever. This is about being human, about love, connection, and presence. The one thing he needs the most is the one thing that we're being kept from giving him, which is us. I feel that it would be immoral and inhumane to let a man who is suffering, who is terminally ill, spend what little time he has left in pain and isolation. Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his final memories be of those of pain and isolation. The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all. We're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to please let my dad come home.
My vote, again, is to deny the request for conditional medical release.
When I voted for Trump, I supported the very system that allows this kind of cruelty to happen. I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation. I questioned my beliefs, my choices, and my role in all of it. My vote wasn't just a mistake, it was the ultimate betrayal of the very people that I come from. I feel like living in South Florida, surrounded by Republican voices, I was brainwashed into thinking I was one of them. I fell for the propaganda, the normalization of cruelty, and I believed the lies that gave me a false sense of security and belonging. I was convinced that voting for Trump was for the economy or against crime, when in reality I was supporting a man and a movement that dehumanizes people. He basically built his platform on targeting immigrants, spreading hate, and pushing policies that ultimately broke families apart. I regret my vote so deeply, and if I could go back and change it, I would. I'm reading, listening, learning, and unlearning everything that I thought I knew. And to anyone who is feeling the same regret as I am, I want you guys to know that there's still a way for us to move forward, but it starts with honesty first. To every single person who has been affected by the choice that I made, I am so sorry. A lot of you aren't going to forgive me, and I'm really not expecting anyone to, but I just want everyone to know that I'm going to move forward with more compassion, continue educating myself, and fight for those who can't fight for themselves. I feel like not everyone who voted for Trump really agreed with this message, and if anything, we didn't really understand why we were voting that way. I realized mine stemmed from just being a daughter who never really got to be a child and would do all the important phone calls, all the translating, and carrying all that weight and responsibility after years and years eventually just turned into resentment. And all that resentment pushed me all the way to the other side.
Oh, honey, no. Nope, that's not it. Did you just say you resented your father because you had to take care of him? But you came on here crying and pretending that you regretted the decision of voting against his own well-being. And you had a GoFundMe. I moved to the US as a 19-year-old college graduate to pursue my further education. And after the years that I was here, I got my citizenship, and then my parents moved here. My mother doesn't speak English. Her English is very basic. So every responsibility to take care of them is on me. My phone is always on because if she gets pulled over driving, the cops are going to have to call me. If she gets a ticket and needs to go to court, I have to go with her. If she needs a doctor's appointment, if she needs to go to the bank, if she needs to make a phone call, that's all on me. I have to make sure she doesn't get scammed. I have to make sure that all of her bills are paid on time. And I don't have 1 ounce of resentment. But let me tell you something. My in-laws were born here, and my husband still has to do all of those things. My mother-in-law was having an issue with her dentist, and I had to step in, and I had to help, and I had to tell her, no, you gotta go find another dentist because that one is not right. And she still calls me to ask me, why are things like this? How does health insurance work? Why are things like that? If they got a new iPhone, my husband has to set it up. Has to set up the Wi-Fi at their house. In fact, my mother-in-law is scared that her phone is spying on her. They were both born here, they're both Americans. And that's not gonna get easier, that's not gonna get better. Boomers are not self-sufficient. Boomers need help. And as they get older, they need more help. You can't resent your parents for that. So now I'm starting to think that you did that all on purpose. You voted against your own father on purpose. Especially the part where you said that we really needed to hit rock bottom so we could learn. That was on purpose. We got you now.
Welcome to the Voice of the Voiceless. In today's video, we are examining the growing controversy surrounding some immigrant families
on her. They were both born here, they're both Americans. And that's not gonna get easier, that's not gonna get better. Boomers are not self-sufficient. Boomers need help. And as they get older, they need more help. You can't resent your parents for that. So now I'm starting to think that you did that all on purpose. You voted against your own father on purpose, especially the part where you said that we really needed to hit rock bottom so we could learn. That was on purpose. We got you now.
Welcome to the Voice of the Voiceless. In today's video, we are examining the growing controversy surrounding some immigrant families who supported Donald Trump, but now say they are being affected by his administration's immigration and deportation policies. The clips include emotional stories of families facing detention, possible deportation, and separation from their loved ones. Watch the clips carefully, and afterwards, we will return with our commentary.
One of President Donald Trump's most loyal voting blocs, Cuban and Venezuelan immigrants. Now speaking out in Miami, a Republican stronghold, as the recent wave of deportations hits home. Elena Conde says she came here from Cuba on humanitarian parole in 2023. Her husband, Ariel Lara, crossed the border with Mexico twice, once in 2019 when he was detained and deported, and then again in 2022. 6 weeks ago, he was taken into custody at his residency hearing.
So he was given an appointment to go to ICE. You told him before he left for that appointment, you don't have anything to worry about. You haven't done anything.
Instead, he was transferred to Texas, where we spoke to him from his detention center.
¿Qué pensaba que iba a pasar cuando ganó Trump? What did you think was going to happen when Trump won? You're saying you believed the president when he said he was going to deport criminals.
Now, Elena is left behind with her daughter, 7-month-old son, and Ariel's 70-year-old grandmother, who has been a U.S. citizen for years. Together, facing a reality they never imagined.
We have breaking news right now. The founders of Latinas for Trump, Florida State Senator Ileana Garcia, is now coming out and blasting the Trump administration's immigration policy, calling it inhumane. The mass deportation efforts that the Trump administration has engaged in. This is a serious statement, and the dam is breaking as we speak. According to the Miami Herald, she said, quote, "This is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane." She went on to say that this undermines a sense of fairness and justice that the American people value. She criticized Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, who is really the architect behind this entire policy, saying they are now just as American, if not more so, than Stephen Miller, referring to her parents who came over from Cuba and are Cuban refugees. Folks, there is a dam, and the dam is breaking right now.
Meet Jose Antonio Gonzalez, a 51-year-old man who was living in the United States for 38 years until he was deported to the country of Mexico, a place that he's never lived in before. Now, some of you guys might find this situation really sad, but personally for me, I find it quite hysterical because Jose revealed in an interview with Tanya Costa from Cyber Cuba that his entire family, including his wife, his children, and his 82-year-old mother, all United States citizens, voted for Donald Trump in the November 2024 elections without imagining the consequences that immigration policy would have on them. Jose says, quote, "My wife, my children, my in-laws, my mom, everyone," while confirming his family's vote for Trump. And the phrase that sums up the drama is striking. "My entire family voted for him, but we did not know this was going to happen." Jose's mom conveyed her own bewilderment to him, saying, quote, "I have never seen this madness in 38 years, she told him, as Jose Antonio himself recounted. Now, Jose came over to the US at the age of 9 crossing the Canadian border, committed some offenses when he was a minor, and was sentenced in 1994 and served his full sentence. Since his release in the year of 2001, until his arrest, he had no further legal issues. He worked as a house painter for 18 years and in stores like Home Depot, delivering appliances, paid taxes, and supported his family. Jose was detained at one of his routine immigration check-ins. Jose spent 6 months in a detention center under some questionable conditions. Jose is now in Mexico, saying that it's a country that he cannot adapt to, but he's in the process of applying for migration relief in an attempt to return legally back to the United States, the only country he considers his true home. In fact, he admits he is more American than Cuban. Now, Jose's entire family totally voted for the situation to happen, because the type of vibes that I'm getting from this entire situation is chickens for KFC, sea animals for oil spills, and kids for Casey Anthony, because this situation is a major FAFO moment. And for those of you who are familiar with the type of content that I make, you know what song I'm about to play next for them.
Raise your hands, come on! Raise your hands!
But anyways, to Jose's family, all I do have to say to y'all is, have the day you voted for. Bye.
What we are seeing has created a serious debate across social media. Some people believe these supporters are now experiencing the consequences of the policies they voted for, while others argue that no family deserves to be separated or treated without compassion. Did these voters misunderstand the immigration promises made during the campaign? Should sympathy depend on how someone voted? These stories remind us that political decisions can have real consequences for ordinary families. Share your opinions in the comment section. Do you feel sympathy for them, or do you believe they should accept the outcome of their choices? Continue watching the next clips, and we will be back for more commentary.
Yesterday, my husband and I were talking, trying to make sense of this result and trying to figure out what went wrong, because it just doesn't make sense. Because one of my main reasons, many actually reasons that I supported Kamala's policy was simply because I'm a woman. The woman's right is on the line. The immigration policy, damn, I'm an immigrant. I come from family that are immigrant. I have a lot of friends that are immigrants, some that possibly are still illegal. But I look at my community, we are not criminals. I look at my community, we're hard-working people. We're here, it was already hard us leaving behind everything that we know, coming to a country that is unknown to us. But we adapt, we work hard, we try to make better life than what we had back home. But yet we have Trump calling and putting in one big pool that all immigrants are criminal. So that was a big fight for me. But then my husband made a point where it's like, you can't fight a battle by yourself. Here we are, I'm not saying all, but it's proven the majority of immigrants, like look at the Latino community. The Latino community, how can you still vote? Especially women Latino. The men, like, you voting against you. But you know what, at the end of the day, not that I'm happy, but sometimes we do need to go through a destruction before we realize what we had or what could have been done had we made a different choice. Because although you're a citizen, you probably feel like, oh, I'm not on the line, but I'm pretty sure you probably have family and friends that are not. So Trump's first agenda, and they've already started yesterday, I don't know if you're paying attention to the news, is the mass deportation. A lot of people believe that it won't affect them. Let's hope not. But based on last time's election, he did deport a lot of people that didn't think they were going to be deported. So let's find out. I'm not going to be fighting nobody else's battle anymore. I am tired. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to have my backup plan because I cannot trust Trump.
With all due respect, nobody gives a fuck and nobody feels sorry that your husband got deported because you in fact did vote for this. You just didn't think you'll be affected since you voted for Trump. You can say all you want, but judging by your repost of Charlie Kirk and your Republican views, which you have removed since, you fucked around and found out. Now you regret voting for him now, but it's already too late. Instead of begging us to help you, maybe you should reach out to Candace Owens or all of the Republican figures you follow. You made your bed. Now lie in it with regret. We don't feel sorry for you.
A 30-year-old woman from Alabama voted for Trump. Trump gonna win. MAGA's Republican. She was all Trump, even though her husband was from Iran or a different country. So you know what happened? He got deported. Partying is such sweet sorrow. I love this. See, you voted for Donald Trump and you think everything was right. I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Now your husband gone. He done got deported by ICE. Great job, ICE. Continue doing your job, ICE, when it comes to people like that. You're crazy. You voted for this mess and now it hurt you. Now you want to cry and sob and can't go see your husband. Don't got no money, know where he is, where he going. It's in turmoil. Your marriage is messed up. Your family's messed up because you wanted to play the FOOL. Alabama woman, 30 years old, we have no remorse for you. You getting exactly what you deserve. Your husband gone, deported by ICE because you voted for Donald Trump. So you caused your own pain and agony. I report the news, but I'm happy to say that 30-year-old Alabama woman, her husband gone because of Donald Trump and your crazy vote.
We hope you have now seen exactly what is happening. The situation is bigger than political arguments because it involves detention, deportation, regret, claims of racial profiling, and families facing an uncertain future. The clips also show how quickly political support can change when government policies begin affecting people personally. Please like this video, share it with others, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and subscribe to the Voice of the Voiceless for more videos like this.